I honestly thought this day wouldn't come for a while, but they did it. Respawn has removed bunny hop healing. They've also made a huge number of changes to the game that may have gone unnoticed behind all of the new content. Let's take a look at the changes. I'll get into the actual content later, it's pretty much widely covered, so I'll focus on the things like bug fixes and gameplay improvements that many people have missed. So first up, and perhaps the biggest point of discussion, they have removed the ability to bunny hop heal. They said they wanted to remove it, and now it's finally gone. I was honestly surprised they got to it so quickly. This will make a huge change to the flow of gameplay and restrict a player's ability to win 1vx situations, because it will become that much harder to heal up in time. Bunny hop healing essentially allowed you to use a med as soon as possible as you move to cover to finish the heal safely. Now you'll need to either slide to cover, use it somewhere that may be more risky, or run to cover first and waste time to heal. Many high level players knew how to bunny hop heal, so without it, players will need to rely more on their teammates for providing support when they heal up. I think we'll notice a few changes to the flow of fights now, and it's going to take some time to get used to the removal of this feature. I guess it won't be long before we are all used to the changes though. I'll have to make a follow-up post once I've tested the game without bunny hop healing for longer. So here's how it works. You can still bunny hop heal, but you immediately lose momentum. So in some cases you can kind of get a couple of good hops off at some speed, but it's very situational. It's best just to run and slide in most cases now. I think they actually implemented the nerf to bunny hop healing quite smartly. You can still bunny hop at full momentum without healing, although without healing the functionality of bunny hopping is reduced massively. Okay, up next we have some interesting map loot changes. Thunderdome has had changes to loot placement. Now, loot that was scattered on the floor has been placed in supply bins. The pit has 2 times the loot in it, which is exciting to see. We may finally be able to get more than just one team geared up by landing there. Some loot has also been added to the underground area under the buildings in the Shattered Forest. I always thought it was weird there was no loot there, so good change here. There are so many other great changes to go through, so bear with me. First, the teamwork and bonus round badges are being fixed. They aren't fixed yet, but they will be fixed soon in a server-side patch. Next, here's some really good news. The delay for items appearing in death boxes has been fixed. No longer will we have to wait for armor to spawn whilst we jiggle around with 0 health. I'm actually so happy to see this fixed. This actually made a bigger impact on gameplay than bunny hop healing in my opinion, so this patch really is evened out thanks to this. Some rubber banding and server performance issues have been resolved. Also, that weird glitch that allowed players to have multiple of the same legend has now been fixed. We also have some huge changes to the beginning of the game. Players will no longer bounce off you during skydiving. Oh my god, this is big. Respawn said they had a fix for this and it has finally landed. Skydiving should now also feel more responsive and smooth, and guess what? There's a report option for disconnecting players. I'm not sure how this will go, but perhaps players who get multiple reports from disconnecting will get a short matchmaking cooldown or something like that. Respawn didn't really explain this, so no solid facts yet. Okay, here's a good one. Caustics barrels can now be disabled by Friendlies. This is a really nice quality of life change. I'm sure we all know how frustrating it can be to deal with a barrel getting in the way of a tight area or a doorway. For console players, you can now fully customize your button layout. That's got to be a big win for console players, I'm sure. Now here's an interesting change. There is a 0.5 second cooldown before you can reuse the same zipline again. I think I see what Respawn wanted to do here. Using a zipline is supposed to make you vulnerable, but many people were essentially hopping on and off the zipline repeatedly while still moving along the zipline to be a harder target to hit. So I suppose this is a welcome change really. Pathfinder also has a new quality of life change. You'll now see a yellow or blue crosshair when playing Pathfinder. It will go blue when you are in range of something to grapple. It seems there is no way to turn this off, and it is a bit of visual clutter. And personally, I feel like it's not really needed. For new Pathfinder players, sure, but otherwise an option to switch it off would be nice. Some reticles and optics have been improved for colorblind settings. I heard this was a complaint for some, so for those out there using these settings, this will be a welcome change. Oh, here's a shocker. Remove the ability for players to change the game settings not intended to be modified on a client level. So this means no more muzzle flash reduction, no more lighting changes, and plenty of other graphics tweaks that may have given players an advantage. They've also fixed extra sway from the G7 crosshair whilst moving. I'm wondering if there was some kind of issue related to the G7, because I always felt like it performed worse than it should. Like there was this jarring visual bug that made it unbearable to look at while shooting. Was that just me? I guess I have to try it out now that this change has been added. Mirage has also had a small buff. His invisibility cloak is now less visible. That's a nice change for sure, but I don't think it will be enough to make Mirage more viable than before. Finally, thermite grenades now do damage to doors, and the frame rate drops from Bloodhound's ultimate have been fixed. What a patch. We haven't even gotten into the content changes yet. Speaking of content changes, what exactly is on the menu? So the main two things are the challenges and the new Apex Elite queue. So there are 4 challenges, and if you complete them, you'll get a unique skin for each one. I'll go over them briefly now. I think that if you are a semi-decent player, it should not take long to complete these. So you get the Wraith skin for completing Battle Pass level 15, you get this incredible triple take skin if you win 2 games, you'll get this Scout skin if you place top 5 in the Apex Elite queue, and you get the badge if you place top 5 in any queue. Now I don't see the Bloodhound skin anywhere, but I'm pretty sure you need to place top 5 in any queue 5 times to unlock it. So overall, a nice set of introductory challenges that set the pace for what to expect in Season 2. Now for the game mode itself, you can get into it if you place top 5 in your last game. Once that happens, you can use this new UI element to select Apex Elite. In this queue, a few things are different. Firstly, only other players that place top 5 can enter it. Secondly, the rounds move much faster and the zones do more damage. Now if you come top 5 in this queue repeatedly, you can continue to enter the Elite queue. Doing this will build up a streak, and you'll have a unique badge that shows your current streak or record streak. I think this is a really nice game mode that isn't too over the top, but pushes players to be a bit more competitive and crafty. I think that what's neat is the increased speed to the zones, because this will mean games are even more hectic. You aren't supposed to sit and hide in the Elite queue, you're supposed to jump into the action and rise up on top. There's also a 3R301 skin for all people that own the paid Battle Pass, and it looks pretty awesome, I have to admit. From now until June 18th, you can also get 1 free Battle Pass level each day just by placing top 5. On June 7th to June 10th, there will also be a double XP weekend where you will earn double level XP and double Battle Pass XP. And finally, there will be new Legendary Hunt store skins added to the store over the next 2 weeks. Keep an eye out on my channel, because I am definitely going to be data mining these so that we can get an early peek. Thank you so much to everybody that has watched this far. That pretty much sums up this monster patch. Hopefully you are having as much fun with this patch as I am. Remember that Season 2 will be announced this weekend too, so make sure to stop by on Twitch if you'd like to watch the event happen live with me. Alright, leave your thoughts about the latest update in the comments. I'll see you there. Cheerio!